Hello and welcome to Limitless, the show that brings you inspiration on a Saturday morning. Today we have an amazing guest. She's the director of TC Publishing. She's a renowned award-winning publisher dedicated to empowering authors globally. As the author of 5 books, her bestseller Planet, See It, Anticipate It comes highly recommended by Les Brown. Awarded the 2021 SIMA Global Award for the most influential woman, Tarnya has made appearances in over 100 podcasts, showcasing her expertise as a much sought after speaker. Passionate about writing, goal setting, and conquering challenges, she regularly hosts events on these themes. With an innovative approach to the publishing industry, Tanya ardently believes in empowering writers to share their unique stories and wisdom. She stands as a beacon of inspiration for those eager to tread the path of self-expression and storytelling. Please make welcome to my guest, Tarnya Coley. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Maria.
Hi, it's so good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Now, of course, your ability to stir people up and help them find their focus is remarkable. Have you always wanted to be a personal development coach?
Great question. No, I did not.
Yeah.
I trained and I went to university to be a teacher,
Mhm.
and I studied that for 4 years, and I taught health and social care, childcare sociology, and
Yeah.
I loved that. And I did it for 15 years.
Yeah.
And my end of my career, I was an associate lecturer for Sheffield Hallam University.
Yeah.
I wrote a degree for them with my colleagues, and it was great. But there came a point, I don't know if you've been there, Maria, where I was overworked, overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
underpaid. And I had to take charge of my life. And I thought, okay, I have to do something about it if I want to see a change. So in 2018, of that summer, I
Yeah.
handed in my notice, I took a risk, and I became a personal development coach, wrote my first book, and that's how my journey started.
Okay, now we're going to talk about your journey to becoming a personal development coach. But I want to go back to something that you said that's really quite interesting. Obviously, you've left your job, which is secure, as limiting as it is, it's secure. How must you have been feeling? I mean, you would have had to muster up a lot of courage. What were the limitations? What were the fears? And how did you overcome it?
Well, mindset. It's the biggest thing that I had to deal with. And
Yes.
it's really leaving you, like you said, your secure job, your regular income. But it
Yes.
was either putting up with being overwhelmed with everything,
Yes.
teaching across 2 campuses, head of how many programs, doing all of that, and
Yeah.
being overwhelmed with the work, or just taking charge and saying, okay, enough is enough, and doing something about it. And my peace of mind
Yeah.
was worth it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had young children. And I
Mm.
thought, no, something has to give. You know, when I was rushing, dropping them off to breakfast club, rushing to work, and that was my life.
Yeah.
Weekends, marking work, going to board meetings.
Yeah.
No, enough was enough. So I had to make that difficult decision, and
Mm.
knowing that it will work if you work it.
Yes, yes. It's having that confidence that, and also I think sometimes when you're in a situation where you look at your circumstances and you think to yourself, you weigh up and your family and everything and your desires and what you're passionate really truly about. And you think, that's what I want to do, what I'm supposed to be doing, my family, all those things weighed up against society's expectations, what seems successful from the outside, but you're living it. You're living the situation, and it just doesn't make sense. I totally hear you. Okay, so how did you find your way into becoming a personal development coach? How did you that journey begin? Well, we know how it began, but
Yes.
how did it progress?
So it progressed with when I was teaching, I love teaching and I
Yeah,
love imparting knowledge. The
yeah,
students were always asking questions, and I was always found myself coaching them through certain situations. And I thought I could be a personal development coach, helping people to get unstuck
yeah,
like myself. and finding your purpose, finding what is it that you really want to do and going for it. What are those steps that you need to take? And my first mentor, Lisa Chi,
Mm.
she was fantastic. You know, when you can't see the full picture when you're in the frame, she was
Yes.
one of those types of people that she could see this great vision of, yes, you can do this, yes, you can do that. And she sat with me and she planned it all out with me and said, these are the steps that you need to take. So, first of all, I did some training around being a personal development coach and I got myself a certificate. Then I developed a coaching program because I knew who I wanted to help. I knew how I could help them.
Mm.
Professional women, get unstuck, live your purpose, because I was once there. And I developed a 6-step program to help people through the process. And
Mm.
that's where it all began.
Yeah. Wow, absolutely amazing. Now, I've read your books. I read your books. As you well know, I have all your books.
Thank
Literally
you.
all your books, and on my devices as well. Now, in your books, in your first book, your bestseller, you said you were lost in negative thoughts for many years in your life. Please tell us how you was able to transform the thinking, because it's out of the abundance that the mouth and the heart speak. So how were you able to change that, your thinking first, the core essence of your thinking?
Well, for me, it's about catching yourself
Mm,
speaking negatively because there's
mm,
life and death in the power of your tongue.
that's right.
So I had to, if I wanted to make a change and be different, speak different, think different,
Yeah,
knowing that it is possible, whatever
yeah,
goals that I set myself to achieve.
yeah.
So I had to start thinking in a
Mm,
different way. And
yeah.
I said to somebody the other day, I had to tell the committee in my mind to shut up and sit down.
I hear that. The
And
members.
it's a daily thing. It's being transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a
That's right.
daily thing. And
Yeah.
it's, you can't help, Les Brown always says to us that you can't help what comes to your mind, but you can help
Mm,
what you dwell on.
yes.
So I had to change that. And
Mm,
also I went on a 6-month mindset coaching program
mhm.
with John Tellerico, and it was all about thinking into results,
Yeah.
thinking differently. It was a Bob Proctor program, and that really helped me to start thinking differently and catching yourself about to say something negative and then reframing that. And that is so
Yes.
important.
Yes, I tell you, it is so important to know truth. I believe the truth is what set you free in this particular
Yes.
situation. I mean, we look at Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, where it says, think on these things,
Yes.
whatever is true, whatever is right, think, whatever is lovely, what's truthful. Truth is such a
Yes.
powerful thing. But then, of course, for all so many years, you're living another truth or another person's. Is it even true? It's not even true. It's a perception, isn't it? And that must have been a real battle for you to fight against that. My goodness. Okay,
Yes.
so of course, you've now been to the training, and then because of course you're not just an author, you're also a businesswoman as well, an entrepreneur. You've got your own publishing company, so that's another mountain that you must have climbed. Tell us about those. Were there any limitations, and how did you overcome that?
Oh my goodness. Were there limitations, Maria? We don't have long enough to talk about the struggle, the journey.
Oh, deeply.
I was just talking to my husband this morning about this.
Yeah,
The struggle is real. And I'm
yeah.
not going to even lie. When I first started out in 2018, yes, I'm going to start my own business, register at a company's house, get myself an accountant and all of that. And
Mm.
then, right, I'm going to do a website, Maria. I'm going to build my own website. Never done
Ooh,
it before.
okay.
And it was literally blood, sweat, and tears. Just to turn a button red took me like 4 hours.
Wow.
And me and my husband, we were like, oh my goodness, setting things up. I had got a team now of editors, formatters, cover designers, I have myself an assistant, but it was difficult. And we do have those highs and lows, but it's how much do you want it? How
Yeah.
much do you want that dream? What's your why? And my why is I want to help as many people to get
Mm,
their story out, to
mm,
help coaches and experts to get their knowledge out of their head and
yeah.
onto paper. There were
Mm,
so many challenges
yeah.
along the way. And there's still challenges. Can I do this? Should I do this?
Mm,
Go, so many things go on, but you know your why. And it's about, yes, we have the struggles and the challenges, but you have to keep moving forward.
Yes, yes. I spoke to somebody actually, my previous guest, about the power of why and being
Mm.
able to sort of have that why as an anchor as well as a light for the future as well as you journey through. So as you are now a businesswoman, an author, a bestseller as well, of course, someone who's literally transformed your life and is helping other people. What would you say at this point is your why?
Wow. My why is to help people
Mm,
to see their dreams come true.
yeah.
Because I know what it's like, where especially when people want to write their book and become that author, whether it's to establish credibility, whether
Yes.
it's to share their story and give people hope, give people answers,
Mhm.
to see the smiles on their faces
Mm,
when they've finished their manuscript, when
yeah.
they've submitted it to my team. And I had a video yesterday of a lady, Angela, and I'm going to be meeting her for the first time at the author's breakfast next week.
Yeah.
And we've done her book, and she got the proof copy last week, and she sent me the video of her opening the book. She had a beam from like so wide, and she was so excited, and that's what
Oh,
excites me.
yes, yes, that's absolutely beautiful. I can just picture that right now. And of course, we've got a testimony as well of a lady called Teresa, who's with you as well and trained with you. Can I play that now
Yeah.
and then we'll come back and chat?
My name's Teresa, and I have just been at TC Publishing's Authors Breakfast, and I have come away so inspired. I hit a little bit of a bump in the road writing my book, but today I've come away encouraged, I've come away supported, and I am going to get on it, I'm going to plan it, see it, anticipate it, and that book's coming out soon.
Absolutely amazing. And she has also released hers now, hasn't she? Her book.
Yes, she has, and it went to number 2 on the
Mm.
Amazon charts. But guess what, Maria?
Wow.
There was this lady. No, it went to number 3. This
Hmm.
lady had a book out, and it was at number 1 and 2. So I'm not sure how that worked.
Same
So
book. The
I'm
same.
saying she went to number 2.
Yeah, you might as well say that. If it's the same book that was in 1 and 2, that's
Yeah,
just been submitted twice, I'm sure.
yeah,
So of course, we know that writing a book is just one aspect of it because for someone to be right at the top there are some strategies. Is that something that you offer as well? And could you just give us a quick rundown as to what that entails to make sure that your book and whatever you're putting together is on that number 1 list or number 2 or 3?
yes. So the first stage is getting your book out of your head and
Yeah.
getting it onto paper. And
Yeah.
I call that my coaching program. It's a
Mhm.
90-day coaching program, and it's called the Author's Lab. And you come in, it's on Zoom
Yeah.
fortnightly for 90 days. And we talk about being accountable with each other in the group and also with myself.
Yeah.
Mindset, which is key,
Yeah.
because Leon Brown said it all begins and ends with your mind, because what you give power to has the power over you
Yes.
if you allow it. So we have to deal with those things that are going on in our mind.
Mhm.
And then we have a book plan, and we talk about our book. What is it that you want to write? And like we said before, why do you want to write it? Because when you
Mm.
get those days when you can't be bothered, that why is going to motivate you and propel you to keep on moving forward. So
Yeah.
over those 90 days, we meet fortnightly, we have 6 sessions, and we talk about how to structure your book chapters, your subheadings, and the essential things that need to go in your book. And we go through that on a journey together. And after the 90 days, the first draft of your book is complete.
Absolutely amazing. Now, I know that your first book that you wrote, you did that in a minuscule amount of time. Was that like 6 weeks or so?
Yes. So Open Doors, which is no longer available on Amazon. Long
Mm,
story. But
mm,
anyway, that was
okay.
my first book that was released in 2018.
Yes.
And I made a decision, January the 1st, 2018, I'm going to write this book. Despite the mindset, you can't write a book. You're academic, but you've never written a book. Who's
Right.
going to read it? Your life's not that interesting that people want to read it. But I knew that this book would help people. And I wanted to write certain aspects of my journey. And
Yes.
right at the very beginning, I share my mom had me in the 70s. I know you're probably thinking, hold on a minute, in the 70s, you don't look it. Well, I am. I'm old enough. And she was 16. She was 16 and pregnant. She was
Yeah.
told to leave home,
Ooh.
boyfriend on the scene, and that was her beginning. But I'm encouraging people that your beginning doesn't have to be your end. She was the first person in her family to graduate university and become a social worker.
It's
It
amazing.
wasn't easy. It was a massive struggle, but she had her why,
Mm.
and she did it.
Yes.
And
And in the
yes,
70s, it would have been a taboo thing to have a child and then being on her own. And that would have been difficult for her, you know.
extremely, extremely difficult. People counted her out.
Mm.
And even the doctor said, you need to just foster your child out because your life's over. But hello, that wasn't God's plan.
Man.
And she did it. And I wanted to write those things about
Yeah.
encouraging people. It wasn't like a pity party book, woe is me. It's just certain things I wanted to encourage people that, yes, we go through things, but we go through things for a reason. And what lesson can we learn from that? Yep, 6 weeks later, the book was written. And I couldn't even believe it myself.
Wow. Wow. So that means you had that story so close to your heart. You'd rehearsed it and gone over it and over it and over it to be able to have now just let it all out so smoothly and so with ease, and it reads so well. Now, I had a bit of a problem getting that book. As you said, it's not on Amazon anymore. I think people out there are going to want to know where to get it. I had to get it on eBay.
Oh,
eBay.
wow, Maria, you're not joking.
I was not joking. I was going to get that book. You know, and then you have one that's not even released yet. So I'm like, what? I gotta have it all. Now, of course, let's talk about your books and where people can get hold of these books. I think that, you know, we can't talk about something that's going to excite people the way it is, and they don't know where to go next. So let's talk about them. Now, you've got these books, which, of course, there is a sixth one that's going to be released. Where can people get these books, please?
Well, if you go to my website, you can get them there. It's TC Publishing. Thank you. tc-publishing.com. You go on there and you can see a list of my books. You click on it, order how many you want, and that is the process of doing that. If you want to go on Amazon, have a look, read the blurb, read the testimonials, the reviews, you can go ahead and do that. But Open Doors isn't on Amazon, but you can order it directly from my website.
Fabulous. Thank you. Now, we need to talk about this author's breakfast, because that is the exciting factor that is on next week, Saturday. Tell us a bit about that, please. I'm going to put the flyer on the screen as well while you're talking.
Okay, the author's breakfast. I'm going to take you on a journey. I love taking people on a journey. So over 12 months ago, I went on a PR course. It was 4 weeks on Zoom with Marcia Dixon, MBE. It was an amazing course, and she took us through the importance of PR, why we should have PR. And she challenged us to start putting on in-person events.
Yes.
And I'm a person of action. Plan it, see, anticipate it, let's go. So my mind started thinking, what do people need when it comes to books? It'd be great to have a community of people where I can share how to write your book and give you some tips. So I thought, author's breakfast. Where can I have it? At the Holiday Inn. So I just rang up the Holiday Inn, booked it. And then the next week I said to Marcia, well, I've got my first event, and it was over a year ago. And this is our 7th author's breakfast. We've been to Birmingham, we've been to London, and we're back in Manchester, where I'm from. And it is all about how to write your book, giving you some tips and strategies, networking with like-minded people. And the great thing is you can hear from my TC Publishing authors themselves and how their journey was. You get to see their books, you get to have a chat with them. And what I'm really excited about, Maria, is that one of my authors who joined the Authors Lab last year, she's flying all the way from the Netherlands to come. Yes, to
That's
come
amazing.
and join us. So that is really exciting. And also, you get a delicious English breakfast.
Oh, we can't turn that down. You cannot turn that down. So people go out there and book. You've got the website there. Is it on an Eventbrite as well?
Yes. So you can go on my website, and under events, you will see the author's breakfast. There's only 8 places left. So you need to rush and get your ticket.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tarnya. Now, of course, the show is coming to an end. One thing I do want to say, though, is, what I really did like about this particular book here, I just want to bring it forward here. I like the fact that every day you had something that was motivational that people could just go to and just pick them up. And of course, the author's devotional, oh my goodness, I'm one for a devotional. If anything, I am one for a devotional, and I just enjoy just every day just being able to go through and just get the fresh word, get the proverb, get the direction, and just to pick me up, and it's all focused around writing, which means if somebody, because obviously there's a lot of devotions that we read, but if somebody is actually thinking about writing and just need that motivation in the morning while they open their word, this is really quite ideal for that. So yeah, thank you so much. Is most of your books very interactive? Is that the way, that the direction that you're going? Because of course, even with your first book, there is also activities as well. Is that generally where, with all the themes of your book, where there'll always be some kind of practical, where after you've read it and you've been inspired, now you've got to do something?
Yes, Maria, I can't help it. It's the teacher in me. We
Yeah.
teach, which is great. We give you the theory, but now it's about time to take action, because action changes things. It's about the implementation, because we can talk all day. We can read all day, but there's no transformation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you how to get it done. So yes, I love that.
Yeah, fantastic. It's not just about hearing and being inspired. You've got to do something with what you've got.
Exactly.
And they're just echoes in the distant past where nothing was, no fruit, nothing at all. Now, it's been really amazing talking to you. And I believe there's somebody out there that's going to be inspired, more than one person, should I say, that's going to be inspired. That's probably going to want to now book in for this particular event that's coming up next week. Before we go, can you look into the camera and just speak to somebody as you feel in your heart led, to encourage them and to give them a sense of hope that there is a future for whatever it is they want to do? Because many people have dreams, and we've heard the talk about the saying about the graveyard being full of many dreams and many aspirations. So there'll be people out there who would want to do this, if not many or all, but don't have the courage, don't have the inner strength, don't have motivation, drive, or direction. So I'm going to have you look in the camera and just speak to somebody out there, please. Thank you.
This moment is for you. You're listening now and you're thinking, she's talking to me. And it's time to take action. But sometimes it's the fear that can stop you from moving forward. And it's that false evidence appearing real. Today, I say to you to serve notice to the things that are no longer serving you in 2024. What do you need to let go of in order for you to chase that dream, that goal, in order for you to write your book? You may be thinking, I would love to attend the author's breakfast, but I'm not in that country. Just get in touch with me on the website and I'd love to connect with you. 2024 is the year that you say yes to your dream and go after everything that you want.
Thank you so very much. And, it's an exciting time, really exciting. And of course, where would we be if we didn't have people like yourself that's there to really like drive us on and help us to fulfill our dreams? Let me play a video, a 30-second video on the breakfast, and then we'll come back and have a quick 1-minute talk again. Wow, it looks so interesting. I mean, they're just so, you can see that people are excited in that environment and been, inspired. Now, I noticed it was all women. Is it only women that you coach, or are men allowed to come, or do you have events for men as well?
Men are allowed.
Oh,
We do have men in the room, but they're usually towards the side. But we do have men attend, and I do coach men as well.
all right, okay. Because I was wondering, I thought it was just a women's event. So, guys, you can go, and this time stay in the middle so the camera can catch you.
I'm going to make sure that the next one, the men are in the middle.
Hiding. My goodness. So you're literally every event you've had, when they've come, they've always been in the side, literally.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a social experiment for you.
Maybe they don't want to be on camera.
Maybe. Oh, Tanya, thank you so very much for coming on and being an amazing guest and inspiring me and inspiring us all. And I will be following everything that you do and watching and with anticipation. So yeah, thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me. I do take this as an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to everybody out there, until the next time I see you, make sure that you remain under the canopy of the Holy Spirit. And it's goodbye for me, goodbye for my guest, Tanya, and I'll see you next week. Bye.